That's right, you are now listening to Tommy Tom's One Mic. Warning, this podcast contains explicit language, triggering or sensitive topics, and controversial discussions. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tommy Tom's One Mic.
I'm Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Flip personality, you know it's I. You never seen my kind, never seen a fucking sliver or a slice. I'm the butcher, choice cuts, know I'm nice. You got beef? I got waggle with a knife. Now I'm gonna be wrapping up bodies up at night. Like Ray Charles, y'all know I'm out of sight. Now I'm gonna be slaying niggas cause you know I love the life. Yo, you gotta read between the lines. I'm only gonna be moving when I'm read through all the signs. Johnny Mnemonic, I got an upgraded mind. This is for the rebels and their revolutionary minds. Cybernetic linguistics, you know I'm on my mind. Prototype the new dimension, man, that shit is mine. Future is creation and creation is sublime. Make your own legend, only happens with time.
Let's hit the mic.
I needed to up the ante. So tonight is ladies' night. It's ladies' night. So I needed a female perspective, and I need to get into the ladies' minds. I've got two with me. You two have quickly become close friends during this trip. We stopped over at a break room. So I must let me introduce you guys properly. With me today, first, I have fellow comedian. If you've listened to my solo podcast, you've probably heard her wonderful interview that I did with her on there. That is Miss Naomi Eden. Say hello, Naomi.
Hi. Do I speak directly into the mic?
Yeah, you can speak direct.
Hi.
Come on, you're a comic. You know how to work a mic.
I know. It's very girthy, too. Is that too perverted for your podcast?
No.
I might steal it.
It's not. Look.
Does it vibrate?
Maybe by choice.
Don't say yes. You risk losing a mic.
Yeah. And with her, I have one of my little sisters, if any. I've known this girl since, what, two?
Yeah, about two.
About two? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've known her longer than her youngest brother has been alive.
Yes.
But I have with me Miss Tori Burson.
Hello.
Hello. Now, ladies, when I came up with this idea, I said, hey, come up with some questions to ask me, and I'll try and answer the best that I can as the guy, I guess you could say. Any question you have about men. And I've told you both triggered me in that course. And here's why. The first question was, of course, why don't guys share their emotions and stuff like that? That was a clear one. It's a very popular one. The other one is, why can't guys just be with one person? Why were those the two questions that popped into your heads?
For me, the being emotionally open seems to be an issue with guys. Feeling secure enough to express how you actually feel seems to be an issue in my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, having guys in my life since day one, I've just seen a pattern of, and it's not necessarily their own fault. It's society saying, you can't express that feeling. You're not allowed. That wouldn't be right. That's not manly. It's not manly for you. And I'm just like, why? Why do we keep letting it happen? Why do we let, men basically turn off their emotion, not allowed to express themselves? Like, that's got to cause tons of depression, tons of fucking mental issues.
That's understandable.
It's really hard for me to be empathetic hearing that. I'm sorry. I'm just not in a good mood.
It's fine.
I'm feeling really bitchy today.
That's fine. Let it out. But for you, it was also because I've heard that line so many times from girls talking to me. It's like, why can't guys be there? And I'll tell you why the comments triggered me, because it's always, why can't guys? If I have a bad experience with a chick, and I was like, why are girls such cunts? It's going to be one of those things. It's a generalization.
Mm-hmm.
The generalization is what usually bothers me, because it's always the mindset. I have a lot of female friends, and it's always their significant other doesn't trust me or something. Or usually, if my female friend's single, the second they get into the relationship, I know it's countdown to how long this friendship's going to actually last and stuff. Because it's always going to be some shit that happens.
I got to cut you off. Right.
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes I get accused because of the generalization of all guys are like the same.
Can I chime in real quick? I think that if you have the same experience, it clouds your perception. Like, for instance, my question about why can't guys be with one girl? I've had sex with guys, and then right after they came on my chest, they'd be like, oh, by the way, I have a girlfriend. Or I'd meet somebody, flirt with them. Oh, by the way, I'm married. Or I slept with this guy for months who lied about being with his baby's mother, and now I have a gonorrhea scare. Oops, was that TMI? I'm not dirty. I'm clean. If you're watching this and you think I'm hot, I'm fuckable and I'm on pills right now. Sorry.
No,
but that's my question, because imagine your experience. Like, if you've dealt with girls all the time who are like nasty to you, I could respect that you think all girls are like that. You know?
I've concluded I probably have a hatred towards women. I've actually internally probably have come to that conclusion.
Do you hate me?
No, you know what it is? I with your thing with the emotion things, I don't really have. People think I have that problem, but if you like actually talk to me one-on-one.
But that's the thing. Has anyone actually come out and said, Thomas, how do you feel? Do you feel this way? Are you feeling this way? Tell me how you feel. Can you express that? Has anyone ever come out and said that to you, asked you those things, got deep into it, or just assumed and that was it?
They ask, and I do the guy thing of like, it's like, are you okay? It's like one of those things, but it's not really the question. It's more so, there's been instances where I've tried to talk, and it's clear you're talking to a wall and all that. And I'll also be like real blunt with this, and this comment will probably get me in trouble. I looked at the history of like girls I've hooked up with. I've realized several things. The big one being, I'm the rebound guy. But then I always have to hear how whorish guys are and how we use. It's like, hey, opposite end, I kind of feel like these bitches have used me plenty of times.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying it does not go both ways, because it does. It does.
No, sometimes it goes both ways, but other times men will take advantage of emotions. I went through that recently, and it hurts. Like, okay, everybody has a part to play. It goes both ways, but I think that you can sniff the weakness off somebody, and women do this too, I'm sure. But it's when somebody sniffs the weakness and takes advantage of it.
The vulnerability. They
Yeah.
feel that, and they prey on it.
And
It's
women have
the same
emotions.
thing that happened with my friend. She was in a vulnerable state. The guy knew that. He knew that. And he kept trying to make her comfortable, make her seem like everything is great. This is secure. You don't have to worry. So he could blindside her or use her. This guy, we had to do some research, but we found out that he had never owned his own place. He always lived with a friend. He, lived with girlfriends. I'm like, that's where he was going with it.
Sounds like the Tinder swindler.
Yeah. That's where he was
that
going
guy.
with it.
just a little less
But that's,
extreme.
I knew this because I had seen this before. I've experienced this before. The guy preying on your vulnerability. But it does go both ways, and women do it to men.
Of course they do, but like, I think also there's some kind of like, we're more, and I hate to feed into the stereotype, but we're more emotional. A lot of men, I feel, and I like, okay, I'm not going to keep saying.
We've always been told it's okay to express our emotion.
Right,
We're
but
girls,
I'm saying,
so they're emotional.
But
we're labeled like that.
Right, but I'm saying that like, I think that it's like in a woman's nature, not to generalize, because there are heartless women out there, but I feel like it's in a woman's nature to fall for somebody who will manipulate your emotions, because we are more emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in our nature to be like providers and caretakers. So if a man takes that advantage of that, manipulates you, and if it happens a lot, like I said, that alters the perception. And that's why my question was like, why can't you keep one woman?
And then I guess my counter question would be, why can't you choose a good guy? It's also experience in that. It's like, for me, I know a bunch of fucking gold diggers, all right, that they will be with a guy simply because of the money, and they will talk about it, and they will talk so much shit about the guy. To me personally, they'll be open to me, and then they will switch it. Mm-hmm. And in my head, it's like, this is why I can't trust these.
I get that.
My question for that is she trying to avoid some kind of ridicule?
My bet, yes, but it's one of those, and I think you and me talked about it, of how sometimes I notice with some of my female friends, if their other female friends come, suddenly their attitude towards me completely flips, and they feel like they have to talk down to me in front of them, almost as a posture, and that would be said as a guy thing to do. So that's why I guess I do a little pushback of saying, is it really just the guy thing, or is it just people in general are kind of shitty?
I mean, honestly, it could be people in general, but like I said, it depends on a person's experience, because it depends on a person's experience and things that could leave you bitter. If you meet people named like Christina, and every single Christina you've met has been the cuntiest thunder cunt of all the cunts
You
in the world.
automatically think.
Yeah, you automatically think.
Yes.
You and for me, it's like I associate, not all men, obviously, but I associate men with cheating, because almost every guy that I've hooked up with, by the way, I have a girlfriend, right after you come on my chest, what? But like, I'm not judging, but at the same time, even one guy I had to find out through the Instagram he lied about not having. He lied through the skin of his fucked up teeth. I'm sorry, I'm not a bitch. I just hate him. I don't hate him. But when you ask, like, why don't girls choose good guys, I think there's two parts of it. Either there are men that will disguise themselves as good guys.
Yes.
Hypnotize you into thinking they care, they love you, they have affection for you, and take advantage. But the good guys who are nice, you get bored. Because it's like, I was raised like emotionally abused, that like I didn't deserve good things. You know what I mean? Nobody could love me. And then when a guy's actually nice to me, I get turned off. I'm like, why are you nice to me? Abuse me.
The general thought I've noticed of the nice guy is it's almost harder for them to be believed. We talked about the emotional thing. I think when I open up or something, or I've done that, I've noticed it. It's worse and more scary to a person to actually see that, because they're not used to it. They don't think that actually is. And that goes back to your point that it's kind of like guys are told, hey, you got to be this certain way and all that. And when you deviate from that, then it's just this uncomfortability. If I try and talk, like I've had female friends who are just used to having arguments with guys, and they will try and start an argument with me, and I'll just look them in the eye and be like, I'm not fighting you. I'm not, like, I don't know why you want to fight right now. I'm just making a statement.
But what if you meet a girl who's actually telling you, open up to me, even if you're uncomfortable? I can, like, tell me your mental issues. Tell me the anxieties you feel. Let me love you there. And even if you're just fucking them, but, like, for months, you're, like, building some kind of connection. You meet a girl and she's finally like, hey, I'm not going to judge you. Tell me what you're feeling. Don't be scared around me.
Yes.
What if you get that?
Yes.
Because you said men aren't used to that. But what if you finally meet a girl who, even if you're not committed to each other, she still says, hey, by the way, you need to chat. I'm not going to judge you. I'll still suck your dick.
So this will tie down to the conversation of the trauma you guys bring up. Girl who took my virginity turned around and said that I used her for sex. Right away to all her friends right after that. We dated for 6 days. She broke up with me. So it was all that. None of her friends believed her because they knew me. But that ultimately set up. And then the next girl who I probably look back at all the girls I've been with or whatever, that's the one I probably hold the most regret, because she was the one that I could look at and be like, no, she generally did like me. She generally did care for me. But it's the stigma also. So later on in the future, I guess to do that, because I've talked about it on my own social and all that. When I got out of rehab, I was very honest about my thoughts of suicide, and it was a thought that laid in there. So in my head, I heard a lot of girls, but the reason, because I couldn't commit, and my reason for not committing is because I knew in my head, hey, my end goal here is to kill myself. So how can I set somebody else up like that? And it's not that I don't care about them. It's not that I don't have love for them.
It's that you do care about them.
It's that I don't care about myself.
Right.
And I'll admit, one girl threw the line back at me because I threw it at her. Like, you can't really love me if you don't love yourself. It's like, that sounds like you're talking to yourself right now. And I was like, ooh, you got me. You're pretty good with that. And I was honest about that, and she was the only one that, like, I put that as a live video on Facebook. And I remember she was the only one that, like, hit me up, and she's like, this makes so much more sense now what happened and all that. But despite saying that, I know she still feels like I just used her and that she was just like this fling. And I know that because she tried to hook me up with one of her friends. It was already weird for me. And I remember I invited her to a comedy show out here. Oh, I ate shit. It was one of my worst stage performances ever. And after, left, she was cool with it. And then after, saw that she had like a guy on her Facebook. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I wasn't thinking anything big of it. But I met with the girl because I was going to be doing a show, and she was helping out. And I could already feel like this tension when when we met up to talk. And she was already drinking. And she told me that the girl told her that I flirted with another girl in front of her at the comedy show. When, as a comic, we all talk to each other and exchange social and all that networking.
But also people will accuse you of flirting. I've been accused of flirting, and I don't know if it's because I'm trans and men will still look at me as a gay man with boobs or an actual woman, and they'll be like, oh, she's just flirting with me. But like, sometimes I think guys are flirting with me. Like, but also this sounds like a her issue, which has nothing to do with you.
Oh, no, I know. But for me, it's one of those things. John's getting his screen time. It's one of those things that, like, it made me realize how much I actually hurt that girl.
But you didn't mean to.
I thought when she saw the video about the suicide thing, we had an understanding. But when it came to her friend and her friend saying that I was flirting with somebody else in front of her because the girl asked for my Instagram, it was like, oh, okay, you jumped to that conclusion real quick about me.
Because of past.
Because of how you felt in that situation, that you thought you were just this fling thing that I was dealing with. When, if you ever talk to anybody who knows me, that's probably the only girl I talk about with respect and glowingly that I've I probably have regrets about everybody I slept with. The only regret with that one is that I couldn't be the guy that I should have been.
But that's not your fault. You mentioned rehab. You mentioned your struggles. It's not like you're a heartless, janky-ass bitch who, like, just sleeps around because you like fooling women and you get off on it. You're like a needle in a haystack. Because, and I'm not saying, oh, you're one of the nice ones. I'm saying you're one of the actual authentic men who embodies true masculinity, which is actually being able to, like, own your emotions, own who you are. Like, it goes back to the whole, oh, emotions are a feminine thing. Look at you talking about being suicidal and talking about being in rehab when, like, half of men can't do that. And maybe that, like, I don't know why women get turned off by that, but it comes back from trauma because, like I said, someone used me in high school. They thought I was so ugly that it would be funny to pretend to like me. That crushed my self-esteem. Look at that trauma. I think everyone's a little traumatized by something, and it affects the way we perceive people. But then when you grow up being told you're ugly, you don't deserve good things. I can't speak for this girl, but I could say that maybe we're taught to believe that we don't deserve nice things or nice people. We don't deserve nice treatment.
Or that's too good to be true.
Exactly.
And we make the shit up in our heads to turn it around on them.
Sorry, my bra keeps popping out. It's not on purpose.
We know you're trying to get that OnlyFans started.
Should I flash a nipple? Go on.
That would get me demonetized.
Don't no. You need to bleep out the cuss words.
No, I don't care about the cuss words. I always mark it for explicit. But no, I think it does go back to the trauma. With her, I think it was one of those things because we met when she was in a relationship and I was cool with a boyfriend and all that. And then there was a thing where he went on vacation and she ended up hanging out at my place, spent the night there, but I have multiple beds and it wasn't just me and her. And he ended up cheating on her on the vacation. And one of his comments of saying is like, oh, I thought you and Tom hooked up. Because he was expecting that to happen.
Like a preemptive strike.
Oh, why wouldn't you just open up and say something? This is where I'm like, if that were the truth, then why wouldn't you say before going on vacation you have these concerns at all?
Because it's an excuse to cheat.
It is. Right, exactly.
Horny bastard.
Right.
Where's Lorraine Bobbitt when you need her?
I know. Dude, believe me, I'm like, how long did she go to jail for?
I don't know.
I don't know if she did. I think
Did she
might
even
have
go,
got off.
or did she get off because he was abusing her, right?
He was abusing her.
was
But that's what
abusing
I'm
her.
saying. Like, I think that was an excuse to cheat. I know that was, I mean, like, I remember years ago, I was in a relationship with a guy, and I was always scared he was going to cheat on me and leave me. And I remember being on this trip into LA, and I was flirting with this other guy, and I wanted to cheat on him preemptively, but even then, even though this guy was cute, blue eyes, brown hair, looked like a Ken doll, and I was so into it. Ken doll without the plastics. I was so into it, but I didn't do it. I would have felt bad.
Out of your own morals.
Like, that's not an excuse, but that's not a reflection on you, Tommy.
No, I think it's also, look, my biggest fear, I'll be blunt, I have plenty of friends that are cheaters, that, like, I see it and all that, and one of my big fears is I would cheat, because I was going away to college,
Right.
and it's like,
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen. And
You're so young at that point, too.
I personally would, even my guys, they know I don't deal with the cheating. I don't want to know about it. And if I do, you know what it is? Big thing I hate is bros before hoes, chicks before dicks. It's a stupid fucking concept.
What about chicks with dicks? I'm just
Those are my favorite.
call me later.
Oh, I got your number, so.
No, I didn't give it to you yet.
I got your Insta.
Thank God I'm wearing a bra because my nipples are hard. Sorry.
I think we got a clip now.
Serious topic. I'm so sorry.
No, it's cool. But I think for a lot of girls and probably a lot of guys, it's how do you navigate this? Like, Tori, you're in a relationship, but you went through your phase of dating and whatnot.
My 20s were rough.
I'm at the tail end.
I mean, and being in the relationship now, it's kind of like, it's not that not a like forced relationship. We discussed everything that we wanted in life before, things started happening, because that's something that's important to me. And at that point in my life, the end of my 20s was, this is what I want. If you can't accept it, then we're not right for each other. This is how I want my life to go. If you can't accept it, we're not right for each other. There are things in life. This is the life I want to live. And if I can't find somebody to fulfill that, then I'll do it myself.
Maybe I just have a different perspective, because being trans isn't all of me, but being a transgender woman, my dating life is, I don't want to compare it to a cisgender female, right? Because, like, we're both women. We both go through misogyny. We both go through, like,
you
men,
get
but
it
what
in a different, because you were the one, and I told you this, I think we were talking, you previed me to something that I didn't really think about, because I know about, let's face it, you probably have more dick pics in your Rolex than most of the girls I know.
No, but you know what's crazy? I don't like dick pics, and I hate getting asked for them. I thought I left that behind, like, before entering womanhood, that and having to remember to put the seat down. But listen, the thing is, I should just cut it off so I don't have to keep forgetting to put the seat down. I hate it. But listen, what I'm about, like, my dating experiences are so hard because men will just use me as a fucking sexual experiment. I went on a date the other night with this dude. He was so handsome, so sweet to me. We cuddled the whole night, but the one caveat was I can't openly date you or have a serious relationship with you because I'm scared of what my family will think. Or there will be guys who will sext me, talk to me, and then disappear and come back and say, oh, well, I'm sorry, I started seeing somebody. And in my head, I'm like, we met off Tinder. And, like, I didn't put down, I just want to fuck. I'm looking for adventure, fun, romance with a mix of fun. They can coexist. But I thought to myself, if I had a vagina, maybe you would have taken me on a date. Maybe you would have treated me more like a lady rather than a sex object.
You're treated as a kink, in a sense of, like, what you brought to me was about the porn. Get, like, guys telling you, hey, I'm watching trans porn or something like that.
I had that before.
And I did the interview with you where you talked about that after I had been talking with a trans woman who I was like cool with and all that, and she actually just asked me. She's like, "So do you watch porn or something?" Like one of those, trying to like figure out why I was being nice and like actually talking, and it didn't hit until I talked to you and you brought that up. I was like, "Oh, she's seeing if I'm just nice and talking because
There are men that want to have sex with trans women because trans porn is a gateway drug. You know what I'm saying, though? And that's what makes it hard. And in my later 20s, I'm torn between just wanting to sleep with a guy to feel affirmed in my womanhood and scared that if I command, like, I want dates, I want affection, I want you to brag about me.
A relationship.
I want a relationship. I'm not going to get the chance to have that because, no offense, a lot of guys who like date trans women specifically, they're usually weird. I'm sorry. It's not because they're into trans women. It's just like stereotypes exist for a reason, I guess. You know, and like I've just had weird dating experiences, not just with men who date trans women specifically, but I don't know. It's complicated and difficult and easy to be more vulnerable. But at the same time, when a guy actually takes me out and treats me like a woman, because I am a woman, you know, if anybody doesn't think so, they could suck my lady dick. But anyways, it's hard. And that's what turns my perception about men into something worse, because I know cis women go through it too, but it fucking hurts when you're trans.
But you're probably your experience a lot with men would probably be more percentage negative.
I just want to cut in here, and you said that, you know, like we go through the same things, maybe we go through it a little different, but also we've been doing it since day one, and you're just coming into this terrible
yes
world.
I mean, I like even,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
like how I'm like, no, this is what it is, this is what I'm expecting, and if you can't fucking be at my expectations, respect my expectations, then obviously this isn't going to go anywhere. But what I'm saying
is, like, I want to have those expectations, but I feel like they don't get respected because of me being trans. You know what I mean? You'll be on Tinder and you'll tell someone, "Oh, I'm trans," after they're like, "Let me take you on a date." One guy was like, "Let's go to this bar and get to know each other." And then I said, "I'm trans." He's like, "Well, I need to see your naked body so I could see what I'm working with." You know what I mean? It goes from, I want to take you on a date and get to know you, to like, I just want to see your naked body. I want to make sure that I'm comfortable. And I'm like, well, I just want to pick your brains and make sure that I'm fucking comfortable, you dirty ass bitch.
The fact that they have to go there to take your clothes off. Like, I just, I'm
but
a
that's
person.
what I'm saying. Like,
you're a person.
I know cis women go through it so hard, and I know that I didn't grow up having my period or like whatever. But I know it doesn't make a woman. I know that. But like in society, like transphobes are like, well, you can't get pregnant or get your period. I'm like, leave me alone. But it's like a different. I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm saying it's different.
It's just a different experience.
And that's why like I said, that's why with men, you ask me like, why can't men stay with one? And for me, I think it's because men are uncontrollably horny. I don't mean to generalize, but like, isn't it like a biological fact?
I don't know about that. Well, I guess the question I'd have for you guys is, do you think something I've noticed, I guess, is that a lot of women, I don't want to say this, tend to want to be trophies. Almost.
I don't want to be a fucking trophy. I just want some. You did, okay.
But it may not be an actual thing, but in actions and stuff.
That's because of what somebody put into my head. That's not because I grew up thinking, I want to be a trophy wife. I want to be perfect for him. No, it's because I had such low self-esteem that I was getting into these relationships with these guys, and it was something they wanted. It's something they want to show your girlfriend off as a prize.
Yet they still stick their
as a
dick
trophy.
in other women.
I'm not a prize or trophy. I'm a fucking person. I'm a person who has feelings.
But at the same time, I want a man to like be proud to be in public with me. Be proud to kiss me. Be proud to call this fucking beautiful goddess comedian with nice hips and nice lips and who's a fucking freak in the sheiks his. And maybe like I can have sex with other people and he can just not. But like in an open relationship, you know?
Well, I don't know if that's going to work out for you, but
I know. I'm such a jealous bitch. But I get your question. Why do women want to be trophies? I think it comes from insecurity.
It's because I
does.
think that's what ties into the manipulation, where it's like sometimes, yeah, I see it that the guy is manipulating her. At the same time, I also see her play into the manipulation and go along with it, even knowing it's bullshit. I shouldn't have to deal with this, but I'm still gonna do it for some reason. And the thing I've like told a couple of them is like, you do realize what happens with trophies, right? They ultimately end up just sitting on the shelf collecting dust, and they're only brought out as a highlight to show to the rest of the boys or something of like, this is me back in my glory days. Look what I used to.
I fucked this hot bitch.
Right. And again, you like for us, we're going to lose ourselves sitting
We
on
lose
that
ourselves
shelf.
in the emotion too, getting attached. Like I said, like I'm talking about the guy with the baby mama. I got attached because he manipulated my emotions. You know what I mean? Super attached. Because it's easy to play off emotions, but women do it too. I'm not saying that we
yeah,
don't,
they do.
but, like, I think maybe just in human nature we smell weakness, and if you're not a good person or you don't have a heart, you take advantage of it.
I was gonna say that, like, for I guess a lot of just people in general, when I look at the guys and the girls that I know, I think one of the things is definitely, like, I've personally I can probably say I've never been in a real relationship. So me talking about relationships sometimes is like, oh yeah, you don't have a voice. I can't tell you how many people hit me up about the advice, and I think that's because I haven't been tainted by the relationship view that other people have. And, you know, I was raised in the Mormon church, and I will say that one thing that I always found, that people always found odd or something, was that they tell you not to date until you're 16. And even if you do, don't be in a committed relationship. The thought process was that's what fucks you up later on, because at a young age, you already think you figured it out. And I see that with a lot of relationships where it's like, you're in a fucking high school relationship right now. That's what you're doing. Like, in everything that you do and you act. And in that sense, that's where I'm like, it's a lot closer to 50-50 in the fuckery going on than probably initially thought. Because both sides would like to blame the other. And I guess for me, it's like, nah, you're both fucked up. You're both fucked up. Everyone has to just make that choice of where do I want this to be? What's best for me? And then actually following through on that. Because a lot of times, that's the killer. You don't follow through.
No, and you make empty threats. And then the person that you're making those empty threats to, whether it's yourself, you know you're giving yourself self-doubt, you're not following through with the things that you promised yourself you would do, or other person.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think everyone's just playing a game and they're trying to win, when the fact is there is no game, and the question is, what are you actually going to win?
I just want to know why, from a male perspective, why if a woman says, I don't want to play games, if you want me, just tell me, if you don't, move on, they don't respond, or it's a turn off, or she's too upfront. And like, because you know what I've heard? Men are hunters, and once they catch their prey, they move on to the next one. It's in their nature, and women are supposed to be nurturing and motherly, and it sounds stereotypical, and I know I would offend a fucking hyper leftist feminist, whatever. I don't care. I'm all about feminism. But at the same time, like, we need to acknowledge there is some nature here. So at that point, when you tell a man, like, I want you, I'm horny for you, let's get to know each other or fuck and move on, and he just, it's
There
too,
are some guys want to hear
but
that,
I've never
though.
had that before. Because men will be like, okay, got you, and move on. Does that mean they caught you already?
Oh, that's where I guess I would put it as, like, even though those 20s and all that of that, and me not talking about the suicide and stuff, I was very open that I didn't want a relationship. I didn't really get into it and all that. And I know plenty of girls said, okay, I'm cool with that. But then the issues came, is like, why aren't we together? That was the question. And it's like, I told you. And even if I've told girls truths and all that of what I was saying and all that, it doesn't matter. And that's where, like, the chicks before dicks and bros before hoes thing comes in. I mean, I know a couple who I was close with, that don't talk to me anymore. Because one of my friends said he would pay to see me have sex with the girl. I heard that, and instead of waiting for that to like come out, because he said it in front of one of her friends, I was like, I'm going to tell her what happened, let her know the whole situation and all that. She was cool. Then her female friend told her the story. Apparently said a bunch of other shit.
That's an unfortunate situation because you went right to her.
It's not like I'm
And
trying.
you knew, okay, this didn't sound right, and this is going to come back to me in a negative way. Let me take care of this.
I will admit it was kind of fucking hilarious. Like, it was one of those like, oh, this is like it only happens in a movie, and that he said that, and I instantly, why would you say that? And then I had another friend in the back just be like, then the other friend in the back's like, oh, because you got a big dick. He just said that, and I'm just losing it. And somehow that turned into me getting a fucking novel written to me in a text message after I already told her, saying that I made her real uncomfortable, talking about my dick and all this other shit. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I told you the situation.
Did you read the whole novel? Like, do guys actually read the whole novel?
Oh, I did.
To read it?
It was, I had to, here's the fucked up thing. I had to go into rehab with the bitch's dad right after. So,
Really?
yeah, it was like,
I would have had sex with him. That's how fucked up I am. Just to know that I won. Like the guy who broke my heart when I stalked his Instagram, I was like, his brothers are really fucking hot. I should just take a train to Boston and fuck him and take a picture and send it to him. Sorry.
that's cool. No, but it's one of those things where it's like, I hate the guy stigma. So whenever I hear the generalization, that's why I say I get triggered. Because I'm just like, that's the mentality that keeps fucking me over in life. Because
I get that completely, but you should just thank the other men who fucking ruined it for women. I'm sorry. I sound bitter because I am bitter because of my experiences, trans or cis or not. Like, these are the experiences that we have. So when a woman meets somebody who's vulnerable and emotional and actually the pure definition of a real man like you,
I wouldn't go that far.
it's not. Well, I see you as that because you're actually real, honest, vulnerable. You talk about your experiences, and to me, that's a real fucking man. Not a little pussy who doesn't talk about his emotions. I don't care about conditioning anymore. It's 2022, but my point is we're not used to it. And that's why girls are like, I don't believe it. It's too good to be true. You probably have a whole rotation.
That is definitely probably a
Because
thought.
it's what we expect. It's like people think trans, sex worker, or porn. They don't expect you to have emotions and feelings. Or people see what about a general stripper or a porn star? They see someone, oh, she doesn't have any value. But what if she has a degree? I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying, though? Like, people see things.
If I had the right body, I would be a stripper. Do you know how much money?
So
they
much
make?
fucking money. But what I'm saying, people see one thing and think nothing. People see like housewives and think fucking their Pilates instructors and shoplifting.
Right. Technically, I'm a housewife, and that's not my life.
No, but like I said, I just wanted to confront that, I guess, before I let you guys start drilling me with the guy questions that I can answer. And
Are we not even at the guy question?
oh, we are not there. That's going to be after the break.
I don't even know what I would.
Yes, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Naomi and Tori are going to drill me on questions about guys, and I will try and be the voice of men the best I can. I won't give you my personal answers. I will give you the answers that I've heard from guys and elsewhere.
Like, why do you always have dirty butts and dirty underwear?
That's a personal situation. That's a personal situation. That's not a guy question. That's
Every time-
once again, my question would be throw back at you. Maybe they need to choose better guys, Naomi, if you're guys.
I always, every time a guy is like, can you eat my ass? I'm like, do you wash your butt? Because I associate men with just not good hygiene. I'm such a cunt, and I love it. Suck it up.
Anyway, we'll be right back, guys, after these messages. What's up, everybody? Tommy Tom, and I'm here to tell you about my podcast, Tommy Tom and One Mic. On there, I talk one-on-one with anyone ranging from musicians, comedians, athletes, heck, even my own parents. It's always a fun time, and when you're done listening to this great podcast right now, you should head on over to Anchor, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out Tommy Tom and One Mic. And make sure to give the mic a shot. And we're back. I'm back. This is Tommy Tom, of course. This is Naomi. Tori, and of course the superstar known as John.
John, it's Johnny.
Mm-hmm. But as I promised you, ladies, I would answer your questions about guys, whatever they may be.
Do you know how to clean your butt?
Yes, we do.
How do you do
the
it?
problem size I've noticed maybe that we it's not popularized for guys to groom that area.
Okay, so how do you do it specifically, Tommy?
How do I do it?
How do you clean your butt?
Regular showers.
Do you put your finger up there and swish it around with soap?
Mm.
Somebody preparing for anal?
Yeah, I'm not prepping for anything.
I feel like men wouldn't do that because any kind of anal penetration is quote unquote gay to them.
No, not.
I don't
feel
see
that
it as
way.
gay. I don't see it as gay, by the way. I would peg somebody.
Okay, there's pegging.
That's a different
And
thing.
then there's a
the
finger.
finger.
I feel like your viewers are going to hate me. I'm like black coffee. Either you love me or you drink me and spit me out and
look,
shit
I'm
yourself.
just happy I'm not Captain Hot Take, because that's usually me on the podcast where I'm the one, as quoted as saying, fuck Beyonce, she was not the best in Destiny's Child.
I felt bad for the other ones.
Oh, Kelly was the shit.
Kelly's amazing. I don't want to say it.
Yep,
I'm
nope,
scared.
let's not get the
Yep.
bees. Look, don't join me on my the hate cruise.
Should we talk shit about Cardi B now and Nicki Minaj too?
No. I'm going to stay away from those. But, I guess,
I got,
You got one?
I got something. Yes, it goes back to hygiene. Why do guys think it's okay to just use a bar of soap to clean their body? Use a washcloth.
I don't use a washcloth. I use my hands. I squirt it on my hand and then just rub it all over my body, up my butt, and I caress my
I will
boobs.
tell you, it's funny
Judge
you brought
me harder,
that up.
bitch.
I only just recently started using a washcloth.
I feel like the bar of soap does not cut. I know tons of guys that just use the bar of soap, and I'm just like, that doesn't do nothing. You're just done. I'm sure you actually clean yourself. This is what I'm talking.
You know what it is? Because this is probably bad to say, but I don't think most guys think about who's going to have to go down there.
Of course they don't.
Right, you know why? Because most guys' mothers didn't say, hey, wash your crotch, that poor girl.
One time I went down on an uncircumcised guy and he didn't clean his schmegma. And it smelled, it smelled like,
Clean
This
yourself.
is how I learn about sexism, because people associate fish with vaginas that aren't clean. But then what about unclean, uncircumcised dicks that smell like fish too? He smelled like he bathed it in a can of chicken of the sea.
Oh, my God.
And I,
So I guess it really goes back to parenting and not teaching proper hygiene.
you think so?
Well, like as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, why'd you start using a washcloth? Because that's what I did as a kid.
One of the things, the weird thing, I never understood the clean behind your ears till I started using the cloth. It's like, oh,
I don't
shit,
do that. Are
there's
you
like-
supposed to do that?
It's weird that, like,
Why?
you start, when you first do it, you realize it's like, wow.
Do you remember in elementary school when we had like the grandma that read to us?
Yes.
So she one day said to me, make sure you wash behind your ears always. It'll keep you healthy. And I don't know why. I must have been like 7 years old, but that fucking stuck with me through my entire life.
The washcloth is an interesting one.
Is it normal for your bra to gape? Like, is that normal? That doesn't mean my boobs are small, right?
No. Yeah, well, no. It just probably means you're wearing the wrong size cup.
Fuck. Okay, listen.
Listen, they never measure you right. You go to Victoria's Secret and they're like, yeah, we'll measure you.
How do you go from a 34C to a 32C? I'm not an A cup. I can show you them if you want. Not on camera. And it's not me hitting on you. Can you judge my boobs later? Yeah. Okay, I love you. Listen, finish the
I
washcloth
actually
and I have a
feel way
question.
comfortable looking at
Oh, no,
your
we're good.
boobs
We're
than,
good with the
like-
washcloth. I think we're done with that.
Okay,
What's your
then-
question?
Yeah, we can keep going.
Why are men obsessed with bigger boobs or all boobs matter? Even bee
Butts.
stings.
It's butts.
Fuck.
I
really?
found out the hard way
I don't.
because I don't have one of those.
I think that may be your problem if you're going for boob guys. I'll say it right here. I think the boob guys those are the trouble ones. If that's the focus,
Start squatting,
I'm-
Naomi.
I did read there was like a scientific study done that like more affluent men like smaller boobs, and then like less affluent like men like huge titties, and it also depends on what country.
I don't. The big boobs. I'm not a fan.
Do you like any boobs?
I've heard most men say a handful is enough.
Really?
Yeah, a handful is enough.
I like that B to C range.
Yeah,
that B
a
to C
handful
range.
is enough.
I'm going to show you my boobs later.
They're probably a handful.
Yeah.
Yes, let's not do that on camera because then I
Sorry.
just got to put it really on OnlyFans for everything.
Yeah.
Why are men so scared of femininity? Do you know
In
what
what
I mean?
sense? What do you mean by that? Like,
Pink, what else? I don't know, doing anything that's considered girly. Like, why are men so scared of that?
I think that's a generational thing because it's changed over time. I know you go for older, probably guys my age. It could be a 50-50. I mean, I've talked about my dream of getting a pink plaid suit.
Y'all bitch.
I'm just like that. I want to rock it at one point or something. And I think Dave even is like, if I buy you that suit, would you be mad if I buy it? I was like, no, I'd wear it. What do you want? And I think with time, like, I think purples made a uptake in color for a lot of guys and stuff like that. That, how do I say it? I guess the normalization of, like, getting rid of, oh, that's gay as a comment or something like that. People still do it, but that was like the stigma when I'm sure all of us were younger, where it's like, ugh.
It reminds me of this guy that like just started sexting me, and like he would always ignore me or whatever, and then he's like, I like to be dominated, and can I call you mistress? And I was like, okay, fine. Do you like getting pegged? And he's like, no, I'm not a gay.
Right. Like you're saying one thing and then you're saying another thing. You're saying like, yeah, I want to be dominated, but it's like you don't really want to be dominated. You want me to tie you down and tease you.
I think it was
that's what it is.
I think it was the whole anal makes me gay kind of thing. I'm not a gay. What? Ugh, who cares?
I guess that's a, you know what, I have that question now, I guess, for you, because I know it's a popular one. Do you think guys that go for you are gay?
No, because I'm a woman at the end of the day. Like, men will see a woman and maybe fantasize about fucking my vagina that doesn't exist, but they didn't fall for Hulk Hogan or Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Or
Right.
Joe Biden. He's sexy, Joe Biden. I think I think I'm horny for him because I didn't grow up with grandpas.
Aw.
I know they left me as a child. They died of cancer, same thing. But no, like, it doesn't make them gay, especially because a lot of men just like anal. One time I was like, why do you like trans women so much? He's like, I just really like anal. It's a tighter hole. And I was like, okay, sometimes it's just about the hole. But at the end of the day, like, I've had men who like didn't expect it, but they're like, okay, I'm curious about you now. But it has nothing to do. I mean, sometimes it could do with my dick, but at the same time, like,
Well, that's where I go to the question, because you said that like a bunch of guys will like hit you up, be like, "Can I see your dick?" or something like that.
I don't think it's like, I don't think it's a gay thing. I think it's a curiosity thing about a dick, but it's not a man's dick. But it, like, I get
The
uncomfortable.
shemus, I believe that's the proper
That's
term.
what I called
Shemus.
it. My sheenus, my lady cock, my lady button.
Sheenus.
But like for me,
Okay.
it's like, I don't like getting head from a man. It makes me uncomfortable. That's the one thing I don't like. I like it being touched and caressed, but I don't like getting head because it's not that it makes me question his sexuality. It makes me question how I feel in my gender. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, because I'm not out there getting head. I get like that.
You're not getting
like
your
that.
yeah.
Like that. Right. I get that.
Like, but I still.
Of course, you're still gonna be stimulated when it's touched and caressed. That's still gonna turn you on. But the act of, I could totally see that being like a uncomfortable moment.
Yeah, it's hard. But I don't think they're gay. I know it's not a gay thing. And like maybe there is like, instead of like, because we think dick and man, okay, I get it. That's how we're raised. But at the same time, like, sometimes it's just a dick. You know what I mean? It's like, even I have trans friends, and like one girl showed me her penis and I was like, I wouldn't suck that and feel like I'm sucking off a man. Do you know what I mean? It's all about how you feel. It's about what you perceive. It's about energy.
No, I was just curious because I know that is always the stigma, I guess you could say.
I feel like so much of our view on sexuality and gay, lesbian, trans, I feel like a lot of that is influenced by how our parents raised us, the community we've grown up in. You know,
society.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
Because we live in a society where I don't want to sound like I'm easily offended by everything, but we live in a fucking patriarchy where men and masculinity are held at such a higher standard, and it is the standard. You could tell me no, that's not true, but like it is true. I'm sorry, like masculinity is dominant in society. It's a patriarchal thing, you know?
No, I'm not going to argue that.
But why do men get so mad when you say that? It's like if a white woman does something racist and doesn't know, like, and you tell her, she gets
power
defensive.
Taken away from them.
But like, yeah, but they get really defensive.
I think for some guys, it may also be, it's almost attack on what they've done. Specifically saying that I'm not successful because I'm a woman, I have to work so much harder than the guys. But no, I mean, you guys got any more for me? I guess we've gone through washcloth.
I'm all questioned out. I'm so hungry I could eat a whale's vagina.
I heard a whale's dick is bigger.
Yummy, but I don't want to choke. I just want to eat something.
I think that's good anyway. But hey, I do appreciate you guys for coming out. I hope you guys had fun in the break room.
I had a lot of fun, and thank you for that. I imagined this guy's face, and it felt so good. Plus, if I knocked his teeth out with a bat, he can get a whole new set. Am I a bitch for that?
No.
Who cares?
Yeah, you have a standard that you want to date to, and
I don't even care if you have bad teeth. Just be actually, I do care. It is a turnoff, but like, just be a gentleman for fuck's sake. I know I talked about it all day, but I had a really good time. I'm so grateful for you and your friendship and your kindness.
Nope, I appreciate it. Once again, I will always state, I don't consider myself a good guy. I'm just Tom. It's the same thing that I do with most things of sex, gender, all those. No, you're a person. It's why I hate the pronoun game. I hate the pronoun game. I'll tell you, instant swipe left for me is like, I identify, and I'm like,
I don't
swipe.
identify as a woman. I am a woman. I hate that whole identify because it feels like identify is a choice. It's not what are your preferred pronouns, it's what are your pronouns. But yeah, I swipe left too on Tinder when like someone's like, I'm an anarchist communist and my pronouns are he, they, and zim and zer, and I'm like, do you? If you want me to refer to you as a bunny rabbit, I'll do it because I respect your identity, but at the same time,
sometimes it just gets
left
a little extensive.
Honestly, though, when you're talking about comedians, I can't stand comedians who whine about it all the time. I think there's room in comedy. I know we're going on a tangent, but
no. This is.
I think there's room in comedy to talk about issues like misogyny and the patriarchy and all that.
oh hell
But
yeah.
I also think there's room in comedy to not keep whining because I feel like when people are being lectured, it's like a turnoff. It's like, you're lecturing me. Why don't you just like educate me without overdoing it?
We could have fun with this realization, of what it is, what's going on, the patriarchy. There's definitely a spin on that.
I just feel like when your personality trait as a comic is always like hardcore politics and anger. I get it. I was angry this whole time, but like, I don't know.
And there's nothing that annoys me more than rich people complaining about life sometimes.
Like when, who was the celebrity that complained about being stuck in their big fucking mansion?
Oh, Ellen?
Yeah, Ellen.
It was Ellen.
Yeah, I knew it was her.
That's when the downfall all started to happen because she puts a video of her in her mansion, just like. Yeah.
I always knew it was the people who always
I'm
virtue.
bored.
I always knew it was the people who virtue signal about being kind that are like the bitchiest. Or when like there are social justice activists that will make that their personality trait. Deep down they hold bigotry in their heart. You know what I mean? Was that wrong of me to say?
No.
I love fighting for social justice, but when people make it all their life, all the time, it's like deep down they're just
trying to prove something to themselves.
Well, ladies, I think we've come to a good understanding. I think
we had fun. I just released a lot, and I found a girlfriend who's gonna look at my tits, and I don't even care about men anymore because I'm a lesbian now. I brought a U-Haul truck for our first encounter, by the way.
Yes. I only brought so much stuff with
And
me.
I'm getting
Yeah.
my fingernails removed tomorrow. So I'm considerate.
Ooh, yes, you are. I see you already have one.
It fell off and my nail bed hurts.
Well, I know, Tori, you probably don't have anything you want people to follow you on.
No.
But
No, please
Naomi,
don't follow me.
if you have anything you want to plug, please
Yes,
do.
please follow me on Instagram. It's at Naomi Eden. That's EDEN. And if you don't like any of my stuff, shit talk me. Send me a DM telling me how terrible I am so I can roast you. Because I'm insecure. And I love attention. That's why my show is called the Attention Ho Comedy Show. At Naomi Eden.
Boom.
Boom, bitch.
And guys, of course, as always, if you'd like to talk to me, send me all your hate, you guys can do so at the TommyTom88 on Twitter and TommyTomP88 on Instagram. And please hit that like and follow on the podcast if you like it. Hell, if you don't, just hit that follow on it. And do check out our YouTube. You will probably see some fun clips with these ladies and, of course, the superstar known as John. But much love to those guys. But we will all catch you all next week.
I'm Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Flip personality, you know it's I. You never see my kind, never seen a fucking sliver or a slice. I'm the butcher, choice cuts, know I'm nice. You got beef? I got waggle with a knife. Now I'm gonna be wrapping up bodies up at night. Like Ray Charles, y'all know I'm out of sight. Now I'm gonna be slaying niggas, cause you know I love the life. Yo, you gotta read between the lines. I'm only gonna be moving when I'm read through all the signs. Johnny Mnemonic, I got an upgraded mind. This is for the rebels and their revolutionary minds. Cybernetic linguistics, you know I'm on my mind. Prototype the new dimension, man, that shit is mine. Future is creation and creation is sublime. Make your own legend, only happens with time.